Welcome to MogulCast, where we uncover the stories behind the world's greatest business empires. Let's get into today's story.
In 2008, Brian Chesky was drowning in $25,000 of personal credit card debt, living in a San Francisco apartment he could not afford. Silicon Valley investors turned him down, calling his idea absurd. Yet, from those inflated air mattresses on a living room floor, Chesky constructed Airbnb into a corporate behemoth valued at over $75 billion. This is the full story, and it is worse than you think. Born in 1981 to two social workers, Chesky studied industrial design at the Rhode Island School of Design. By October 2007, he quit his job in Los Angeles and moved to San Francisco to partner with his former classmate, Joe Gebbia. They had big dreams but almost zero liquidity. We will come back to one specific decision. It is the key to everything. A massive design conference flooded San Francisco. Every hotel room in the city sold out. Realizing they could not cover their rent, Chesky and Gebbia bought 3 air mattresses, slapped together a basic website called AirBed and Breakfast, and charged guests $80 a night. 3 strangers slept on their floor. It proved people were willing to pay to stay in a stranger's home. But venture capitalists remained deeply skeptical. By the summer of 2008, the startup was completely out of cash. Maxed out on credit cards, Chesky pulled off one of the strangest hustles in tech history. During the 2008 presidential election, he designed limited edition cereal boxes called Obama O's and Captain McCain's. They hand-folded thousands of boxes, sold them for $40 each, and raised $40,000. That bizarre cash injection funded the company when no investor would look at them. That relentless hustle caught the attention of Paul Graham at Y Combinator in early 2009. Graham admitted he thought the business idea was terrible, but he accepted them simply because the founders refused to die. With $20,000 in seed funding, Chesky flew straight to New York City to meet hosts face-to-face. They began taking high-quality photographs of listings themselves, but not everyone was celebrating. Traditional hotel chains operated on real estate acquisition and heavy overhead. Chesky built an asset-light marketplace where hosts provided the inventory and Airbnb took a percentage cut on every booking. But here's what the media completely got wrong about this. Analysts assumed Airbnb was competing purely on price. In reality, Chesky was building an entirely new economy based on high-trust, peer-to-peer verification systems and professional design standards. Scaling trust through double-blind reviews and host insurance guarantees, adoption exploded worldwide. Travelers abandoned traditional hotel chains for unique, authentic, local stays. Venture capital poured in from major firms, catapulting Airbnb's valuation from tens of millions to billions in just a few years. Chesky went from sleeping on air mattresses to managing a global lodging network larger than the biggest hotel brands combined. Success brought immense legal and regulatory backlash. Major cities like New York, Paris, and Barcelona cracked down on short-term rentals, accusing Airbnb of exacerbating housing shortages and driving up residential rents. Hotel industry lobbies fought back aggressively with millions in lobbying funds. Local governments passed strict laws requiring registration, caps on rental days, and heavy municipal taxes, threatening to dismantle Chesky's core business model. Then came March 2020. Global travel ground to an absolute standstill almost overnight. Airbnb's revenue crashed by 80% in a matter of weeks. The company was forced to slash its workforce, cut 25% of its staff, and cancel planned investments. Industry experts declared the company finished, predicting the end of international travel and peer-to-peer lodging. Chesky faced the complete destruction of his life's work. Facing bankruptcy, Chesky secured emergency debt financing to keep the lights on and completely restructured the platform. He quickly pivoted marketing toward local, long-term stays, capturing remote workers who wanted to relocate during lockdowns. It was a massive gamble that paid off as domestic travel surged. And if you have made it this far, you already understand something most analysts completely missed. In December 2020, Against all odds, Airbnb went public on the Nasdaq. Valuation surged past $100 billion on its very first day of trading, making it one of the largest IPOs in tech history. Early investors saw astronomical returns, and Chesky's personal stake catapulted his net worth into the billions, completing one of Silicon Valley's most dramatic turnarounds. Today, Airbnb operates as a dominant force in global travel, holding a market valuation around $75 billion. Millions of active hosts list spaces in nearly every country on Earth. Chesky, owning roughly 10% of the company, remains CEO, continuously refining the app to integrate artificial intelligence and personalized travel experiences while maintaining strict capital efficiency. Remember that decision we mentioned at the start? Here is what it actually cost. Running up $25,000 in personal credit card debt to sell cereal boxes seemed absurd, but it preserved equity when venture capitalist funding would have stripped the founders of control. That refusal to give up early ownership preserved billions of dollars in value for the founding team when the company hit public markets. Airbnb grew from 3 air mattresses in a rented apartment to a company valued at over $75 billion. Chesky's net worth stands at over $9 billion. Over $40,000 was raised selling cereal boxes in 2008. From absolute insolvency to global dominance, Airbnb fundamentally changed how the world travels and lives. The lesson of Brian Chesky is that sheer resourcefulness beats capital every time. Investors care about traction, but great founders care about survival. When every institutional door closed, Chesky did things that did not scale, like hand-folding cereal boxes and photographing apartments himself, creating a foundation built on unyielding execution rather than easy VC money. If you want to understand how this pattern repeats across every major business collapse, the next video covers a story with disturbing parallels. That one is next.
That's the story for today on MogulCast. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the bell. A new empire story drops every single weekday. See you tomorrow.